Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Glad to have you join us on the news. I am Nolin Ebel Ame. Now we begin the news by telling you that President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, to meet with the organized labor to hear their grievances on the state of the economy and its impact on the nation's populace. The minister announced this to State House correspondent after an audience with the president on the labor situation in the country and state of affairs in his ministry. Details of this shall come your way in our next bulletin. The Independent National Electoral Commission says it will embark on massive mop-up of card reader machines to ensure prompt reconfiguration for the October 10th governorship elections in Ondo State. INEC National Commissioner in charge of Information and Voter Education, Festus Okoye, gave the update on last night's fire incident at the Ondo State INEC office in Akure. Olajide Bello has details.
The inferno, which lasted for about 2 hours, took the combined efforts of the Federal Fire Service from the airport in Akure and Ilesha Command due to the inability of the Ondo State Fire Service. In the early hours of Friday 11th, the fire had been totally put off, with remnants of the card readers dotting the landscape of parts of the INEC office.
It's alarming. I got in there, to my dismay, the only thing I saw was people filming and sending this on social media. There was just a little firefighter truck there, which was far below containing what it entails.
On its part, INEC says the Ondo State governorship elections will still hold.
What we intend to do, based on some of these challenges we have, is to mop up smart card readers from the other contiguous states in order to make up for the total number that we have lost. So if we just take smart card readers from 2 of the states that do not have any form of election during this particular period, we are going to recover.
Preliminary investigations by the police to prevent future occurrence have commenced. In Akure, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
In the meantime, Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has sympathized with the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) over the fire outbreak at the Commission's headquarters in Akure, which destroyed card readers worth millions of naira. The governor, while on an on-the-spot assessment of the level of damage, gave an assurance that the people of the state that October 10 governorship election will hold as scheduled. Olajide Bello again is standing by at INEC headquarters, Akure, for an update.
Very much, studio. The INEC headquarters here in Alagbaka, Akure, the Ondo State capital, has been a beehive since the inferno that occurred yesterday that raised over 5,000 smart card readers here. And one of the early callers was Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, who sympathized with the commission over the loss.
So we still expect that 10th of October 2020 is in sacrosanct and that by the grace of the Almighty God, the election will still be held on that day. That is sweetening. But no doubt, it will be at great cost to INEC, which we must accept. We are with you, and whatever you think we can do that will not be termed as being partisan.
Also, the resident electoral commissioner here in Akure, Ambassador Rufus Akeju, also held a press briefing where he told journalists that everything is under control and the commission has commenced preliminary investigations into the cause of the fire, and this is not going to hinder the October 10 elections.
Let me reiterate that our determination to conduct a free, fair, credible, successful election remain undaunted.
And that's the situation from here at the INEC headquarters here in Alagbaka, Akure. And it's back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Olajide. Now, incumbent governor of Edo State and candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Godwin Obaseki, while speaking on the Edo 2020 governorship election campaigns on Good Morning Nigeria, noted that he remains committed to the giant strides his administration has made in the last 4 years to win the confidence and votes of the electorate. Come September 19th, Daniel Aderi tells us more.
He's not there for himself, he's there for the people and not just for a clique. That has been tested in these elections. We all joined this cause, this political fight, because we said we wanted to emancipate our state. What I am doing today is what we agreed to do in 2007 or 8 when he came in. So, nothing has changed for us.
Incumbent governor and governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, riding on the wings of his administration's past achievements in the last 4 years, but also giving the electorate more reasons why he should be re-elected for a second term. Other guests on the program urged political parties to bring their supporters up to speed with the guidelines for voting, which is in line with the COVID-19 protocols.
One thing that will be very, very critical: the voter is not aware extensively or to a large extent of the new code of conduct for the voter. If you come without a face mask, you cannot vote. These are dimensions of, access to the ballot that eventually the law will interpret.
Demystifying the process of governance to the positive side, that will actually usher in democratic dividends, for the benefit of the electorate as well as members of the state.
Political actors and other key players in the state involved in the polls were urged to embrace peace and eschew evil. In Abuja, Daniel Adiriye, NTA News.
The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party has, on behalf of the National Executive Committee, approved the dissolution of the Kaduna State Caretaker Committee of the party and subsequent constitution of a new Caretaker Committee. A statement by the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Kola Olabodion, says the action of the NWC is pursuant to sections 29 2B and 31 2E of the PDP Constitution of 2017 as amended. The 7 newly constituted members of Kaduna State Caretaker Committee has Bashir Tanimu Dusemma as chairman. Others are MB Abdullahi Dole Kaina, Dr. Bashir Maru Timothy Galu, Babangida Roniad Mohammed, Al-Hajj Sule, while Comrade Ali Abdullahi is to serve as the secretary of the committee. The new caretaker committee is charged with the sole responsibility of running the affairs of the party in Kaduna State until a new executive committee is elected for a period not exceeding 30 days. The NWC enjoins all leaders and members of the party in Kaduna State to continue to work together. We will now join Adiola in Lagos for more stories. Hello, Adiola. You're on.
Hello, Nolan. Good to see you. As the COVID-19 pandemic persists, dirty environments, Poor domestic and personal hygiene practices have been identified as factors that can help the transmission of the deadly virus. Nusa Osula reports that the wife of a Lagos State Governor, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, during a sensitization work, urged the Lagos residents to ensure the city is debt-free to rid the state of the virus.
An epidemic or outbreak can occur when several aspects of the agent, population, and the environment create an ideal situation for spread. Overcrowding, poor hygiene, and dirty environments can lead to conditions that allow easier transmission of disease. From Ikeja under bridge, all through Awolowo Road, down to Alausa Secretariat, the message was loud and clear.
There needs to be a change of orientation, a change in lifestyle amongst the people.
The message is to clean your surroundings.
With the coronavirus, cleanliness should be on the mind of everybody.
Lagos, as the entertainment capital of Africa, must have a very clean image.
The wife of the Lagos State Governor enjoined residents to partner the state government in making Lagos clean.
We're going to do it together. Mr. Governor cannot do it alone, the cabinet cannot do it alone. So it's a joint effort by all of us.
Dr. Sanwo-Olu added that waste sorting and recycling is the way to go. In Lagos, Nusa Osula, NTA News.
Indigenous language plays a prominent role in the identity of a people. So, what happens when such languages are left to go extinct? This is why the study of Nigeria's indigenous languages has been taken to the Nigerian Police Barracks, Lagos, for intelligence and information gathering. Annie Daniels has the details.
There are fears from linguistics and language experts that more than half of over 400 Nigerian languages are endangered, and if left unchecked, the worst is sure to happen. This is why the National Institute for Cultural Orientation, NICO, a parastatal of the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, is taking the study of Nigerian indigenous languages to the barracks, a setting best described as a mini Nigeria.
It will help to foster living together. And the soldiers who are normally with their family living in the barracks, or the police who are normally living in the barracks, in most cases they are posted to areas in Nigeria where the language is not their mother tongue. So if they are able to learn this language, 1 or 2, definitely it enhances the capacity, their competence, in doing the community policy.
If you understand culture and languages of various places, you will not be lost.
The 3-month course is free for all interested officers of the Nigerian Police, Lagos Command.
Before I can relate with you or assist you, I must understand your mission. And I must understand why you are coming to me. And without knowing your language, that one is not possible, unless we use an interpreter.
The course will also include the study of the culture and traditions of other states, as may be preferred by candidates. The program is an annual one and is replicated in barracks across the country. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Lagos. A break beckons now. Thereafter, Nationwide will continue.
NTA TV College Jos, an affiliate of Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, is currently admitting students for its ordinary diploma programs in television journalism, television production, and television engineering. Interested candidates are advised to obtain relevant information concerning eligibility at our website at www.ntatvc.edu.ng or marketing department of any NTA station nationwide. For further information, contact Assistant Director, Marketing, NTA TV College Jos on 0803-314-4383 or the Academic Office of the College on 0806-980-9807. Announcer, Registrar.
News 24. A 24-hour news station brings to you news and happenings 7 days a week.
News at 10 a.m., news update at 11 and 1 p.m.
News desk at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. and late evening news at 11 p.m.
Follow us on any of our platforms and keep abreast of events and current affairs within and outside our shores.
We are on DSTV channel 419, GoTV channel 46,
StarTimes channel 101 and Free TV channel 703. Join us.
A new edition of TV Guide is out, featuring great personalities from all walks of life. Expository interview with a young TV presenter who shows passion on what she does, Morayo Afolabi Brown of TVC. Pick a copy of this compendium of mind-blowing stories and get abreast with issues as regards media convergence, leadership, health, star profiles, star programs, fashion, sports, human angle stories, and lots more. Meet some media professionals within our space who have paid their dues in no small ways. TV Guide, very incisive, very educative and compelling. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or NTA stations nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
The Gunners travel to Craven Cottage in the early kickoff to begin their challenge for the Premier League title. Will they get the wins to start off their campaign? Find out as Fulham hosts Arsenal this Saturday on the Premier League Live from 12 noon, showing on the NTA network. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Babai Jebu and Access Bank.
Thank you for rejoining us in Abuja. Now talking health, the Joint Health Sector Workers Union is to present the outcome of the conciliatory meeting to its members for consultation and get back to government by Saturday the 12th of September. This resolution was reached in Abuja after a long hour of meeting. Both parties resolved that the Ministry of Health implement some of the grey areas identified, while the Accountant General Office is to consider the names of those not captured for the COVID-19 hazard allowances be factored in the June payment, as well as those who suffered from salary shortfall.
I adjourned our main meeting to 15th of October. Yes. They enabled the Federal Ministry of Health to carry out the assignments given to them in 4 weeks, and use the subsequent week to report back at the meeting of 15th of October.
Although we still have some fundamental fallouts that requires further consultation with our members, we believe we'll get back to government with the position of the powerful NEC that mandated us to give the ultimatum by Saturday.
Empowering women beyond the COVID season is key to securing a stable future, economic recovery and growth for Nigeria. This is the premise for the collaboration between the Kwara State Governor and Minister of Women Affairs in Abuja. Momso Demian Ati reports.
In era, Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak has traveled the distance in a quest to better the lot of women in Kwara and beyond. Hence the synergy with the Women Ministry to explore all avenues to facilitate the actualization of this goal.
We would like to cooperate with the ministry. We want to be the first port of call for any assistance to state that relates to women. We've shown that we're serious. I want to engage the ministry to have some cooperation. Whatever is open the AIDS grants coming to women. We want to be first in line.
The minister is overwhelmed with the zeal and all-inclusive governance in Kwara, which already has 56% women in the cabinet.
There can be no meaningful development without putting women at the center stage. And you've got it right. And you fulfill your campaign promises. Our collaboration will be strengthened. And for the request of seeking a stronger engagement with us, you don't have to even ask for it. It is granted because you have demonstrated a clear commitment of leadership, of inclusion. You've even exceeded the gender equality we are advocating for.
In a related development, the ministry also received hundreds of thousands of baby diapers free of charge from a prominent manufacturing company to support the well-being of Nigerian children. Momso Damien Lati, NTA News.
Ministry of Transportation has constituted a committee to draw up guidelines for the disbursement of the 10 billion naira federal government palliative fund for road transport operators and workers. Minister of State Transportation, Senator Bemishola Saraki, disclosed this when she received the president of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, Professor Tajuddin Ibikunle Lawal, in her office in Abuja. The minister stated that members of the committee are drawn from the Ministry of Transportation and all other relevant stakeholders in the transportation sector. She urged the unions to interface towards having one recognized body that the ministry can deal with so that the funds can be disbursed as soon as possible. MOVE have begun to kickstart a process that will see the reformation and provision of some laws of the Federation to enhance unfettered access to justice for the overall progress of the society. Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, inaugurated the 9th Commission of the Nigerian Law Reform Commission with the aim of revising and updating laws that are obsolete and out of touch with current norms of the Nigerian society. The minister reiterated that the commission will be guided by the extant provisions of the Act establishing the commission to promote the socio-economic and political development of the country.
Of the law revision project before the COVID-19 pandemic, the goal of the project is to provide updated laws of the Federation of Nigeria for easy access to justice.
The need to ensure that judiciary as the third arm of government is adequately funded and provided with the necessary tools required for an efficient and quick dispensation of justice has been reiterated. This was at the valedictory court session of the Justice Jude Okeke of the FCT High Court Abuja, who died on 4th August 2020. Omenka Amarachiku reports.
Gathered here are justices, judges, and members of body of benches who came to mourn one of their own, Justice Jude Okeke, who until his death was a judge at the FCT High Court Abuja. Recounting his legacies in the judiciary system, his colleagues described the disease as a great loss to the Nigerian judiciary.
Loss of a loved one at any age is always painful. However, the loss of a man at 64, at the prime of his life, with the future beckoning, full of promise and hope, as we were expecting my law's elevation to the Court of Appeal, such death is not only excruciatingly painful, but extremely tragic.
A one-time chairman of Abuja branch of Nigerian Bar Association, Justice Jude Okeke was called to power in 1985 and appointed as a High Court judge of the FCT in 2007. In Abuja, Omenka Marchuku, NTA News.
You are still watching Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Agatha is waiting in Benin with more reports. Hello, Agatha. Over to you.
Thank you, Nolene. Good afternoon and welcome to Benin. The Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, the NYSC, has met with corps members to serve as ad hoc staff in the Edo governorship election. It is to strategize for the success of the election. Obeyotoba Presai reports.
The meeting with them and the DG is to press home the importance of their integrity and neutrality to the success of the election.
They are supposed to be neutral and apolitical, so they should be non-partisan and adhere strictly to the electoral laws. And they must not do anything untoward to tarnish the image of the scheme.
The meeting between the DG and members of the Youth Service Corps is also an opportunity to highlight security and health tips in respect to the COVID-19 guidelines.
The welfare of the corps members is paramount to the federal government and the NYSC.
The corps members say they are better equipped for the election.
So I just said be ready for Edo corpus to give you a neutral election.
We just have to do everything in transparency and put our integrity also at work.
Over 2,000 youth corps members have been enlisted to serve in the 3,035 polling units in Edo State for the governorship election on the 19th. The NYSC DG also visited the Oba of Benin to appreciate him for supporting the scheme. In Benin, Obeyotoba Presai, NTA News.
Now, candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC in the Edo governorship election, Pastor Sage Zeyamu, is working out new plans to lift businesses to new levels of prosperity if he's voted into power. That is the assurance he's giving women and other traders in Ego local government area when he took his simple agenda message to them. On his part, the PDP candidate, Governor Godwin Obaseki, has met professional groups with plans to expand the health sector, build capacity in the judiciary, and provide an enabling environment for engineers in the state. Again, here is Obeyotoba Presai with the report.
The APC campaign tour in Ego commenced with a visit to elders and people of Ugbowo community. Here, the APC candidate received the endorsement of the Hausa and Igbo dwellers, as well as market women groups, through their representatives. From there, the APC train moved to the campaign ground at Ugbowo, where the APC candidate, Pastor Sage Izeyamu, assured the people of Ego that he will capitalize on the markets and business facilities in the area, and through strategic partnership, uplift them to modern status.
A Edo woman, if you give her 10,000, if you come back the next day, you don't multiply to 20,000. So what Edo women need is a government that will put money in their hands. Not be money to take by the power, not be that kind of money. Money to take do business.
Nollywood actor Osita Iheme was part of the campaign to drum support for the APC. A Benin social-cultural organization, Nedogama, is also campaigning for support in Oriomo local government area, hometown of the APC candidate.
From everything that's been going on, we noticed that the women are not be carried along. Everything central on the youth and the elderly people. But you know, like the saying goes, no nation without mothers.
We come here, we can't stand for our Baba Izeyamu. As he go take come out for this as they the console. Since when we grow come out, I never say person don't come out for Oriomo. This one will be the first one.
Meanwhile, at an interactive session with members of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the PDP candidate and incumbent governor Godwin Obaseki promised to place premium on the health sector if re-elected.
We will have the most viable and robust health insurance arrangement in Edo State, and not compromised. Except we do that, we cannot sustain the system.
Governor Obaseki also had a similar meeting with members of the Nigerian Bar Association and members of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. In Benin, Obeyotoba Presai, NTA News.
That's it from here. Nolene, it's back to you.
Thank you so much, Agatha. The Akwa Ibom state government says it will not compromise with actions capable of undermining the peace and tranquility enjoyed in the state, even as it welcomes people and investors to the state. The Deputy Governor, Moses Ekpo, stated this when he receives archbishops and bishops of the Anglican Communion, Niger Delta Ecclesiastical Province in Government House, Uyo, on behalf of Governor Udom Emmanuel. Charity James has the details.
Receiving the Anglican archbishops and bishops with their spouses in Government House Uyo, the state governor, represented by the state deputy governor, Moses Ekpo, expressed appreciation to the church for their prayer support to the state, while attributing the success of government to the support of religious fathers through prayers. The deputy governor says Akwa Ibom State is open for religious programs as well as investors at all times.
The successes that we have made in this state have been possible because of your interaction with God on behalf of this state on a minute-by-minute basis, on a day-by-day basis, and that's why we are the winners.
Because Akwa Ibom is safe. And then I started thinking in my head, I've not heard in recent times that there were kidnapping or killing or harassments in Akwa Ibom State.
In Uyo, Charity James, NTA News.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria has signed the first phase of its savings scheme for intending pilgrims, which takes immediate effect and is in collaboration with Jaiz Bank. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports.
The development is coming after a well-thought-out move to support low-income Muslims who have intention of performing Hajj operations. Open to all Muslims, it will be coordinated in states by State Pilgrims Welfare Board and in accordance with Sharia law.
We are liberalizing and enabling every person to potentially be an Al-Hajj. From the day they are born, they have the potential to start this journey.
I would like to see every one of us to rise from this meeting and rally our states and the people to key into the scheme. If we are able to do this, the benefit will surely manifest in no long distance.
Whatever policies, principles, activities, the Assembly will always be in support for the betterment of Nigerian pilgrims and Nigeria as a whole.
Secretary to the government of the Federation, in a message alongside other key stakeholders, lauded the initiative and pledged commitment towards its success. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
At least 29 people have lost their lives, with thousands of houses and hectares of farmlands destroyed by flood, which displaced many communities in 17 local government areas of Jigawa State. Ibrahim Bello Gunda reports that families affected by the calamity are trying to move on from the incident.
The devastating flood, which affected majority of the local government areas of Jigawa State, has been attributed to torrential rains, which lasted for many hours, and poor drainage system. Malam Muhammad Kabiru from Babaldu in Benue Kudu local government is one of the victims, who has 4 wives and more than 20 children under his care. He lost his house and farmland to flood with nothing to feed his family on.
Lost most of my rooms. I am just managing life.
Birnin Kudu, Jahun, Ringim, Hadeja, Auyo, among other local government areas, are worst hit, and more than 50,000 houses and farmlands with crops such as maize, millet, guinea corn, and rice destroyed.
We have tried to write to the state government. We wrote a letter to the SEMA. We go around to the place where this flood happened.
There are some villages who will send canoes for them because they are all surrounded by the water. They cannot be able to come out from their villages.
From Duse, Ibrahim Bello Gunda, NTA News.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has advocated the need for state governments to activate all emergency response platforms towards mitigating the effects of expected flooding in the country. Director General, National Emergency Management Agency, Air Vice Marshal Muhammadu Mohammed, made the call during an advocacy visit to Governor Abubakar Sani Bello of Niger State. Dauda Mohammed reports.
The state is among the 28 states in the country prone to flooding and also expected to be adversely impacted by the phenomenon this year. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has been on a nationwide visit to states expected to experience flooding. It reached out to Niger State government on an advocacy to mitigate the effects of the expected flooding. NEMA officials, led by the Director of Special Duties, Nura Boppa Aliu, who represented the Director General, urged the Niger State government to activate all emergency response mechanisms towards mitigating the effects of the expected flood waters.
The State Emergency Management Agency, frontline local government authorities and other response agencies to put in place preparedness actions to carry out public enlightenment campaigns.
Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello, represented by his deputy Ahmed Mohamed Ketsu, assured of the state government's preparedness to address the expected flooding and called for more assistance to farmers.
Already the state government has paid for their settlement in terms of land acquisition.
15 local government areas have been identified to be high-risk flood areas in Niger State. In Mina, Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
Let's go on another break. Nationwide continues shortly. Thank you for staying with us.
She cries. She cries in anguish and in pain. She bears the scourge of her grief. She toils in vain for justice and succumbs to silence. He gloats over his malady. Like a beast, he pounces with no remorse. Her cry means nothing. Her pain feeds her shame. Like an orphan, she's left to grieve in solitude. But no more will she cry in vain. Her adversaries will henceforth bear the brunt of their cruelty. Rape is evil. Rape is a plague, a pandemic of monumental consequences. We must unite and kick it out of our society.
Connect with NTA and stand against rape and rapists. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide a company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. Application for iOS or Android. Intelsat 901/332.5 degrees east. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
ICPC and NTA say you can help Nigeria to flatten the curve on COVID-19, just as you can help flatten the curve on corruption. Follow transparency, accountability, and integrity just as you follow health guidelines. Stay home with integrity and maintain your distance from corruption, just as you stay away from COVID-19 by maintaining social distance. Report every act of corruption to ICPC, just as you report COVID-19 to NCDC. Stay away from corruption, stay safe. from COVID-19. Report any act of corruption to ICPC on toll-free number 0800-2255-4272. This message is brought to you by ICPC and NTA.
The Gunners travel to Craven Cottage in the early kickoff to begin their challenge for the Premier League title. Will they get the win to start off their campaign? Find out as Fulham host Arsenal this Saturday on the Premier League Live from 12 noon, showing on the NTA network. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Babai Jebu and Access Bank.
Thank you for being there. Now to the update on COVID-19 cases in Nigeria. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has announced 197 new cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria. The latest figures released brings the total number of confirmed cases to 55,829 infections in the country. A breakdown of the new cases from 13 states indicates that Plateau recorded the highest number for the day with 83 new cases, while Lagos has 48 new cases. Kaduna 17, while the FCT recorded 16 new cases. Others are Ogun 11, Katsina 7, Imo 4, Edo and Nasarawa states recorded 3 cases each, while Rivers State recorded 2 cases. The day's tally is completed by Bayelsa, Oyo and Osun states recording 1 case each. A breakdown of confirmed cases by state shows Lagos has the highest with 18,504, followed by FCT with 5,391, and Oyo comes third with 3,210 cases. With the latest development, total number of active cases stands at 10,944, while 43,810 cases have been successfully treated and discharged, while 1,075 patients died, unfortunately. And talking education, over 70% of schools earlier occupied by the Nigerian Army as military base for counter-insurgency operations in the northeast have been handed over to the civil authority. The acting general officer commanding 7th Division Nigerian Army, Brigadier General Abdul Khalifa, announced this at an interactive session with members of Education in Emergency Working Group in Maiduguri, Borno State. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
Education is often described as a tool for socioeconomic development, yet this agent of change and transformation is the major target for the activities of terrorists that have ravaged the Northeast for over a decade. The Safe School Declaration is a global intergovernmental political commitment that provides countries like Nigeria opportunity to express support for protecting students, teachers and schools from attack during armed conflicts. Members of the Education in Emergency Working Group are at the headquarters 7th Division Nigerian Army in Maiduguri to seek ways to further mainstream the implementation of the declaration in the various theater of operations under the division to further secure schools.
We are very passionate about making sure that our education is not under attack. And this is actually coming from the Safe School Declaration that was signed by the President.
The document, the Army notes, is in line with its existing rules of engagement, civil-military relations practice, and the rule of law it seeks to promote during operations.
This conflict that we're managing is a peculiar one, based on the fact that it has its foundation on the distaste for Western education. Thank God we've turned around that narrative. It will be gladdening to know that for the first time in the past 6 years, WAEC successfully held West African School examination in Chibok, with us providing security.
We operate in compliance with law of armed conflict.
and deep respect for human rights. And the SND is entirely on human rights.
Nigeria is among the first group of 37 countries that have endorsed the United Nations Charter on Safe School Declaration, a document that has been domesticated, particularly in northeast Nigeria, an area ravaged by insurgency for over a decade. From the headquarters 7th Division Nigerian Army in Maiduguri, Borno State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Jos is our next stop, and Caleb is ready to bring us more stories over there. Hi, Caleb.
Nalene, hello. Welcome to Jos. To achieve a vibrant economy, key players in the economic sector say the valuable assets of any country should be utilized to attract global investment and development. This took center stage at the Economic and Management Week model for the Senior Executive Course 42 participants of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS, Kuru. Ijeoma Ozomina reports.
The Economic and Management Seminar for the course 42 participants is designed to address the economic situation of Nigeria, its challenges and resolutions to flatten the COVID-19 curve. The seminar also trashed out the non-implementation of various government policies, legal and institutional framework of national development in Nigeria, saying it as the 30th largest economy across the globe.
Now about liquidity. And guess who gets to trade? Only countries that get the liquidity will trade. The reason Africa was not trading was that Africa was not liquid. Africa does not have the liquidity even to deploy infrastructure. And if you can't deploy infrastructure, you can't grow.
Nigeria, being a solvent country, they advised, should create avenues for liquidity in the economy to avoid borrowing.
I hope that the new National Development Plan will articulate issues that will deal with poverty, what is happening to self-reliance, what is happening to unemployment, and then essentially what is happening to inequality. The disparity between the rich and the poor is widening.
The Apex Policy Institute reiterated that planning has become essential if the narrative must be changed to achieve the set goals. From NIPS Kuru, Ijeoma Ozemena, NTA News.
Residents of Sabongida Ward of Langtang South local government area have received donations from their representatives at the national and state assemblies. A Cameroon Kaneng Ladoja reports that the help came as a result of the destruction of their houses and farmlands by flood.
The Sabongida Earth Dam in Langtang South was constructed to meet the water needs of residents. 1st September this year, due to heavy downpour and the flow of rain from the neighboring Lansang North local government, part of the embankment of the Sabongida Earth Dam under construction gave way, which led to the flood.
The flood affected people here through the small channel that was made to help our people get more water.
To alleviate the hardship faced by their constituents from the flood, lawmakers from the area reached out to them with palliatives with the assurance that they will ensure there will be no further recurrence of such an incident.
Many households, several buildings in their homes was totally razed down.
I intend moving emotion in the floor of the house, on the floor of the house, so as government will definitely know what is happening in my constituency.
For the beneficiaries who are already picking up the pieces of their lives and rebuilding their destroyed homes, they applauded the lawmakers as they prayed that such good acts be extended to other affected communities.
We are happy no life was lost. We are grateful to our benefactors.
Bless them and increase them to do much more.
Items distributed were mattresses, roofing sheets, buckets, and bags of grains. From Sabongida in Langtang South, Ekemerin Kaneng Ladoja, NTA News.
Now, Lane, Jos is done.
Thank you so much, Caleb. The Benue State Security Council has reviewed the situation surrounding the death of Ghana and appealed to Benue people, especially those from Sankere geopolitical zone, to be calm. Governor Samuel Otom, who chaired the meeting, says the council agreed to continue with the amnesty program in the state. Charles Abba has details.
The governor noted that the Benue State Security Council is aware of the tension created by the news about the killing of Tewasi Agwaza, alias Ghana, and has reviewed the situation surrounding the incident. The governor explained that for the purpose of peace, Benue people should not take laws into their hands and urged aggrieved persons, especially those of Sankara axis, to be patient with government to handle the matter. He maintained that members of the State Security Council would meet with stakeholders of Sankara to discuss further. The governor added that the window is still open for other local government youths who are willing to key into the amnesty program. He further stated that a committee has been set up to consider ways by which the 42 youths granted amnesty can be effectively reintegrated into the society after being profiled.
Where there is need for the state government to collaborate with the local government to support these youths to go into farming or to do something based on their skills, this government is willing to do that.
Special advisor on local government is the chairman of the committee. In Makudi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
The Nigeria Immigration Service has pledged to ensure that illegal migrants and those with expired documents are repatriated from Benue State and, by extension, the entire nation. Comptroller of the service in the state, Festus Amajoyi, stated this when he visited Governor Samuel Otom at the Government House, Makudi. Charles Abayigan reports.
Comptroller, Nigeria Immigration Service, Benue State Command, Festus Amajoy, who indicated that the Immigration Service has averted kidnapping, child trafficking, robbery, and other vices in the state, pledged to ensure that only legitimate immigrants can transact business in the state, as it has intensified efforts at monitoring and surveillance at border entry points to guard against infiltration of criminal elements into the country.
I'm here to work in synergy and in collaboration with sister agencies and other states of the Benue State government to provide effective and efficient security operations and management as to secure life and property in Benue State.
Immigration service will require to be well equipped so that they can actually carry out their responsibility of ensuring that illegal immigrants do not come into our country.
He further said that he considered all federal agencies in the state as part and parcel of Benue. In Makudi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
I'm still talking security. Kano State Police Command has arrested 259 suspects within a span of 6 weeks for various criminal offenses, ranging from armed robbery to kidnapping, among others. The State Commissioner of Police, Habu Sani, disclosed this to newsmen at the command's headquarters in Kano. Awal Salisu has details.
The command, through its sustained Operation Puff Adder and other crime-fighting strategies, succeeded in the arrest. Within the period of 6 weeks, the command has recovered 13 motor vehicles, 7 tricycles, 9 motorcycles, and 914 parcels of cannabis sativa worth more than 4 million naira. Other items include 10 rifles, 3 locally made pistols, and 79 live ammunitions. The command also recovered 1,958 cartons of Dangote branded Indomie noodles meant for Benue State palliative, valued more than 4 million naira, diverted and sold out.
We shall continue to remain committed and resolute in fulfilling our policy mandate in line with the vision and mission of the Director of Police.
Some of the suspects confessed to have committed the crime. The suspects will be charged to court after investigation. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
And talking sports now, English Premier League clubs set for battle for the 2020-2021 season as NTA concludes plans to transmit Fulham vs Arsenal match live on Saturday. Bade Adele has details on our sports update.